Hey y'all, Brandon Rinas here. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. Doing a video while I'm driving here, so we'll see how this goes. But just haven't had time recently, or last night, so I'm doing it now. I have to say, I was so blown away this week. First of all, it's been an average week, maybe a little better, maybe a little worse, nothing too special. And I feel like part of this journey of trying to have success is sometimes, at least for me, disappointing. I like results ASAP. Some of the pluses, because I've been really pursuing knowledge and people and mentors and things of this kind, I've been failing pretty miserably. But I finally found one who seems to be a legit mentor, at least from my first communications with her. And she and I had the pleasure of running into her, and she gets to mentor me for free. So that to me is a huge hit. You're like, yeah, party. So that's a huge plus. Also, my wife and I, because we're trying to constantly pursue different ways of making money, different styles of knowledge, and I'm trying to surround myself with better people, we've been going to practically every free or cheap seminar we can get our hands on. The Robert Kiyosaki trainings, anything where there's just people that are trying to become successful. And so we were at one of those. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to some of them, but usually they have a free promo for, Robert Kiyosaki training free. And so you show up and they give you lots of good information, but it's really basic, generic stuff that's good to know, and a lot of us don't. But then if you want more, spend $230 some bucks, and then you and a guest can go somewhere else and learn more. And so you spend that $230 something else, and then they go there and they train you for 3 days, overwhelm your brain with information. Then, if you want more, you can pay somewhere between, for us, it was a real estate class, and after our 3 days, we were mentally blown away. Legacy education, congratulations to you guys. I keep trying to remember, Peter was the educator's name. Phenomenal, amazing example, amazing leader, amazing teacher, humble, just a phenomenal human being. I wish I could have afforded some of the programs they had. But long story short, it's 16 grand, the cheapest one, and I wasn't going to settle for that because I want a mentor. I want someone that can help me with what I need. So it's probably going to cost me 30 or 40 grand to even buy one of the programs, which I couldn't do. So as we're there, we're sitting there, my wife and I, I'm trying to figure out, how can I do this? I can't afford this right now, or I shouldn't say I can't, because I'm trying to work on that. I can't figure out a way at the moment to afford this, so what can I do? And I thought to myself, you know what I should do? Because it's you and a friend, whenever you sign up for it, it's you and someone else that you get to bring with you to the trainings, the higher class trainings, all this different stuff. I was like, you know what I should do? I should try to sign up under one of the individual people that are signing up, not with a team. Most people were there with a couple, but every now and then there's maybe 2 or 3 people out of the 70 people there that would buy themselves. So my wife and I made it a mission to sit next to one of the single ladies that were there and talk to her. She's just this old lady, and so we start talking to her about trying to hop on board and be whatever you want to call it, work with her. She's doing all the pain, all the everything else, but she needs someone else she has the ability to have someone else on the system. And so we tried to do that, and pretty much, long story short, I failed. I kind of led that way. She was going to swap information with us, all this stuff. But then 15-20 minutes later, this guy stops by, and he, not rudely, but very politely but aggressively, tells her, hey, I've talked to the people in the back. If you don't have somebody else going on your program, you can sign me up with you if you're okay with that. And I wasn't that aggressive. I was way more polite. I was way nicer, and I hadn't asked the people in the back, so I thought I was kind of breaking the rules, and I didn't want to find out and get told no. And so anyway, long story short, he gets her to sign him up on her program. So he gets $52,000 worth of training for free. And I was like, all right, dude, you're a hustler. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. So he does all of that. I sit down with him afterwards. I was like, dude, you just out-hustled me. I tried doing the same thing and you outperformed me. What did you do? What was the differences? And he's like, I started in the back. He goes, I talked to the people in the back, asked them if that was possible. They told me it was possible because it's between you and somebody else. They don't have anything to do with it. And so he goes, I did it, and I knew I could talk to people with confidence because I had been educated on it from their perspective. They had told me it was okay. And so I used that as leverage to get them to sign me up, because if it's okay with them in the back, why wouldn't they? I mean, if they don't have somebody else to sign them up on this program, why wouldn't they sign me up? And so I didn't do that. I didn't have the leverage, and I was like, you blew me away, man. I was like, I was so worried about breaking the rules. I didn't want to do it. He's like, I was going to break the rules. He's like, if they told me I couldn't do it, I was still going to ask. He goes, but at least if I ask, then I know for a fact that I have more leverage. I have more to negotiate with. So I became friends. I got his number. I want people like that in my life. Hustlers and bustlers. And to top it off, this guy is so broke. Like, he's more broke than I am, or maybe he's just smarter with his money. I'm not sure which. But he couldn't afford the $200 seminar, which is what my wife and I had paid for and gone to. And so he hopped on as somebody's guest there. Then he went from that to a $52,000 guest. This guy's got hustle, and I was telling you this story so you can look at it and look at yourself and say, what's my excuse? Because that's the way I was looking at. This guy's from some country, I can't even remember where, speaks English pretty well, but not amazing. Not the best looking guy, not the best dressed guy, none of that. But he's already in a program worth $52,000 without one penny of his own dollar. So when we hear, oh, I can't afford it, the question should be, how can I afford it? We shouldn't be getting butthurt about people outperforming us. We should be learning from them. And so, like, I think beforehand, or before, maybe a year earlier, maybe even not that long ago, I would have been mad at this guy because I tried talking to her first. I tried, and I was more polite, and I was all this stuff, and why didn't you go with me? I think that's my mentality. I would have had excuses. But instead, like, I looked at this guy as my hero. This is the type of people I want to surround myself with. People that build me up, people that teach me how to get more out of less. People that work and fight and claw their way up forward, because those are the people that are going to be successful. There's lots of people that have all the money in the world, they can afford all the training, but they're not going to do much with it. That guy, he can do stuff. He's creative. He's hardworking. He's unique. And so out of all the people in that class, he was probably the poorest person there. Yet my prediction is that he's going to be one of the wealthiest people afterwards. Not, maybe within 5 years or 10 years or whatever it takes, but that's the mentality, that's the mindset. Those are the people I want around me. Those are the people I want in my life. So I just kind of wanted to say that for my own lesson, that you can always get out hustled, you can learn. And the way we learn to become better hustlers and the better out of the box thinkers is from learning from our mistakes, not making excuses. The reality is he outperformed me. So I can either make an excuse and, oh, he was better looking, or, oh, he was this, or he picked the right time. Or I can look at myself and go, okay, what should I have learned? What can I do differently? And I find that encouraging. It's like, hey, when I'm struggling financially and I'm thinking negatively about my finances, I look at that man and I go, I have no excuses. You have no excuses. There are way better looking people in this world than us. There are way worse looking people in this world than us, and there are people in all those different categories: smarter, not as smart, better looking, taller, shorter, skinnier, not fit, whatever it is. And there are a lot of all kinds of shapes and sizes that are all doing way better than us financially, that started off as bad or worse than we're in. So we've got no excuses. We need to lead from the front. We need to learn from these people. We need to move on. We need to keep kicking butt and taking names. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Legacy education, phenomenal. I wish I could have given my money to them. I absolutely 100% do. I was blown away with how good of an education system it is. So if you have that opportunity to hook up with Legacy education on the topic of probably trading also, but also the topic of real estate, I was absolutely blown away. And this is coming from someone who thought he knew quite a bit about real estate. I work in the industry. My boss has bought and flipped and sold and rented more real estate than I can count. Like, I don't know how many properties he owns. There are a lot. We're constantly bouncing from one property to another of his. And after doing all that, I was blown away, and so was he. I was giving him information. He was like, I've never even heard of that. That doesn't even seem possible. And it was just mind-boggling. So phenomenal education, well worth your time. Surround yourself with better people, guys. And all I have to say is TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. Peace out.